And now, an Envision Financial podcast with Luke Smith on Canberra's 2CC.
Welcome back, Luke Smith from Envision Financial for the year of 2026. What are you looking at your watch for? It's not 5 o'clock yet. You've got to stay for a half
I'm pretty
an hour.
sure you said it was 20 to 4. I was like,
Did I
pretty
really?
sure it's 20 to 5.
I probably did. I'm half asleep, okay? Get over it.
We're flying today. First show of the year and we're flying.
Oh, yeah, we haven't even started yet. New Year's resolutions. Forget I'm going to give up drinking, I'm going to give up smoking, I'm going to give up sex, I'm going to give up everything.
Oh, hang on, slow down.
Yeah, hang on, go back a bit there. Go back at least 2. No, go back 3. But in the world of finance, how can people work through their goals for the next financial year?
Yeah, look, this is a bit of tongue-in-cheek, really, isn't it? Because I think putting anything around a new year, a new period, look, at the end of the day, you either have the self-control to stick to something and the interest. And I think that's what I want people to take from today. It's not ways that you can do it, and we'll touch on a few things that, you can try and do just to start looking at, because most people are on holidays. You can get a beer open, you can get a wine open, you can sit down and we'll touch on some stuff that people can do. But I just want people to try and measure their expectations first and then take action that is sustainable. And I would much rather people do that than try and make knee-jerk changes like anything else in life. You've got to build up to something. You can't just walk in the gym and go, right, we're going to squat 250, we're going to bench 150, and that's what we're going to do the first day.
I never do that.
Me either.
But I guess that comes down to setting your priorities. That's the important part, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I think that's it. It's about understanding what are we going to try and do. Okay, January, great. We've got 12 months to try and change some behaviour. So what are the things that you want to try and get out of the next 12 months? And then let's break them down into smaller chunks. So I'd be sitting down and saying, okay, let's have a look at our outgoings. Do we need Stan? Do we need Netflix? Do we need Prime? Do we need Disney? Do we?
Hell yeah. I'm not helping him, mate.
No, you're not. And then have a look at where the money's going. I find as well that people, they underestimate the repetitious behaviour that they do have, both good and bad. Oh, I don't spend that much on that, and I don't spend that much on that. And I say, okay, well, sit down and work it out. And when they do, they're actually quite shocked that once or twice a day, once a day, over 7 days, over a month, wow, look at the number. Coffee's a great example. Again, we're not saying stop, we're not saying start. But if you want to try and shave savings from somewhere and redirect them into investments or something long term, you need to try and change what you've done. It's no different to, okay, I'm going to lose some weight. Well, stop putting so much food in your gob. Right? That's probably the first choice. If you can stop that, then you can then choose how many calories are in things. And I think financially people need to think of it the same.
Yep.
What have they got going in? What have they got going out? It's a lot easier to save money than it is to try and get a pay rise or find the time to work a second job or have a side hustle. Now, if you want to do that, great, and all the power to you. But I think if people understand where their expenses are going, measure what they want to try and do, and then set some realistic objectives. And I'd look at it on a quarterly basis. I wouldn't be saying, right, it's the 2nd of January, I need $25,000 in the bank by the 30th of December.
Whatever. Yeah.
I'd be saying, what do I need to do in the next 3 months? So from January to the end of March. Okay, X, and work towards it. And if you get there, great. Let's go out and have a dinner. Let's buy some shoes. Let's buy whatever we like and reward ourselves, because I think the first thing I see is people become very disenfranchised with what they're trying to do because something happens that's out of their control. I was in a car accident. Oh, the washing machine blew up. Oh, my son had to get braces. Oh, that's blown. Oh, well, I'll chuck it in now.
Yeah, it's easy to do, I guess. It's a case of tying in a goal to a lifestyle choice, isn't it?
Yeah, look, exactly right. And I think everybody wants to live the way they want to live, but you also need to acknowledge that, okay, am I staying in my lane? And I find as somebody that speaks to people day in and day out about their expectations, this is where social media can be really, really evil, because you're watching a highlight reel of people's lives.
Yeah.
You don't understand what they're doing. You don't understand what their resources are. You don't understand what's happened to them. Yet people sit at home and go, Oh, but I know him or her and they do this and I do that and we're pretty similar. How are they doing this? And then credit cards get involved and offset accounts get drained. So I think people need to just try and do what they can to control their outgoings. Use technology to your advantage. So if you can automate something, that's great. Use an app. If you get a finance app on your phone, you go to a Vanguard, you go to a Raise, you get into these micro investing apps, any one of them, and pick an option that is right for you. A massive misconception that I deal with all the time is, oh, I need $10,000 to start that. No. You can open a micro investing account with $50, I think.
Okay, that low. That's
low,
small.
yeah.
Okay.
And then automate something in relation to saving on a regular basis and forget about it.
And as you point out here in your notes, you've got to accept something that may need to give. Something's going to give.
100%. I'm a massive advocate of consequence. Yeah. You know, I think if we don't have consequence, without consequence, you're not going to change behaviour. If you don't change behaviour, you're not going to change the outcome.
And I guess you've got to also, you say, you know, give yourself a little gift, spoil yourself a little bit, reward. Give yourself a reward along the way.
Yeah, that's right. It can't just be for no reward. And that's why I say don't look at 12 months. Look at now to the end of March. Set yourself a goal, sit down with your partner and go, okay, what can we do? Do it together. It's always easier together. Because there's nothing more frustrating than someone being on a diet and watching your wife eat Chinese across the table. Like, really?
I'm used to it.
You know, so I think if you can do it together, you can use technology and automate things. You can look at where your outgoings are and can you sharpen them up, and then redirect whatever you sharpen up. Now, it might not be a lot. It might be $30, $40, $50, $100 a month. But $100 a month invested at 7 or 8% compounded for a period of time will accelerate at a very, very nice rate. And you've set great behaviours in play, and then all you want to do is turn around at the end of 3 months and go, okay, well, we did that in 3 months. What could we do to June? Now, do we do more? Do we do less? And I think a little bit of suffering, a little bit of consequence is good, because if it's too easy, you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah, on the other hand, too, you know, it can be a little bit, compulsive in one word, but, if you get into the habit, you can actually... You know, you what's the word I'm looking for? Can become a real habit, and you feel guilty if you try and break it.
Well, and I think, you know, if you take the financial side of this and bring it back to something simple like weight loss, you know, when you start, it's really hard, evidently.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't going to say a word.
As someone that's trying to watch what's going in their gob, you become very aware of the volume of what you do, and I think from a spending perspective, I think you look at it the same way. Understand where it's going, understand what you can sharpen up, and then at the end of 3 months you go, wow, look what we've saved. Could we do better to June? And then, like you say, it really gets momentum. And I think that short time frame stops you becoming disenfranchised by hurdles that are out of your control. I think you also need to do it at a pace that is right for you, because I find a lot of people, this can get very competitive. And you say, oh, well, you know, we're at a dinner party and, we save $1,000 a month. Oh, we save $2,000. Oh, well, I'm useless. I won't bother.
So you don't give a damn what other people are doing.
No, you just do what works for you and stay in your lane. I find the worst thing that people can do is get wrapped up in what others are doing, because it can be very encouraging and very disheartening. Because I have plenty of people come in and go, so how am I going relative to everyone else? Who cares?
You say that you can. Oh, by the way, the word I was looking for before was addictive. Spending spending can become
I think it's
addictive,
great.
But saving can also become addictive.
I think it's wonderful to see something start and get some real momentum. You know, and I say that for a lot of parents doing something for their kids or for their grandkids. Open something straight away with a small balance and add to it regularly, and the benefit of compounding will be exponentially powerful for the next generation.
Now, make the point too, Luke, that automate what you're doing so you don't have to think about it.
Yep.
And consider interest costs or interest rates, and review insurance costs, all of that sort of thing.
Exactly, and that's where just going through and looking at your outgoings. Can I get a better mortgage rate? Can I save $100 a month on my mortgage? What could I redirect that to? You could redirect that $100 a month to a little portfolio at Vanguard. And you don't have to be an investment scientist to do that. You could literally open up a growth option at Vanguard, just like you pick a balanced option in your super fund, and just direct some money to it. Personal insurances are the same. Car insurances are the same. You know what? Go into your missus' wardrobe Find what you haven't seen her in the last 6 months.
Oh, that's
and sell
dangerous
it.
ground.
Yeah.
That's dangerous
You
ground.
might also need to sell your house and everything with it later, but that's okay. You know what? There's some dice you might be willing to roll.
Very courageous. Very courageous.
But again, it's just about finding and removing the waste and the clutter, and then using those proceeds for good so that you can have great behaviours in a new calendar year.
And the superannuation thing, adding to that bit by bit, that's particularly if you're getting closer to retirement.
Yeah, that's another one.
I'll never get there, but I'm working on it. But don't laugh.
I think you've just snuck past preservation age, but anyway.
Yes.
But you're right. It's about...
My boyish good looks give the game away. But seriously though, I mean, you won't really miss it if you do it often enough.
No, and again, I think start small, because no one said you need to go neck deep right out of the gates. And again, I find people do that, and then their cash flow drops significantly, and then they have to change the way they live. They don't like it, and then they stop it altogether. Yeah. Whereas if you start something, and again, this is where your 3 months is good. Start something small. Okay, we can still save a bit. Okay, next 3 months, we'll make it a little bit more and a little bit more, and find that pain point where you now have to start thinking about what you're going to spend money on. And I'm not saying live in a tent, but we all waste money on stuff that we probably don't need. Well, hopefully my wife's not listening, but I'm the anyone that knows me, I'm the first one to do that. But I also sit down and go, do I need any more of those? Or a good measure for me is my 8-year-old, and she sees a new pair of shoes and the shoe box, and she looks at me and goes, "Daddy, really?"
That's your 40th pair that you bought this year.
Exactly
and
right.
It's only the 2nd of January.
Exactly. What have you got? Cameras in my house?
Okay, just recapping on the main points out of that little bit before we go to a break.
So, look at your priorities. Understand where your money's going. Get a handle on where you may be able to save, be it home loan, be it car, be it insurance, be it personal insurance. Anything that's a regular outgoing fixed cost, can I sharpen it up and take the difference into an investment that's automated through an app or through a platform that you don't have to think about, add to it regularly, and then consider things like super as an alternative if you're getting closer to 60 as a good way to lower your taxable income, but start repetitious behaviours that might cause a little bit of pain, because I think a change of consequence is a good thing.
Yeah, a little pain, but a lot of gain.
Exactly.
Luke, what about, let's get into some key strategy tips as we get into 2026 and get right down to it.
All right. So, as we said before the ad break, I'd be looking at where's my money going. I'd be setting a realistic time frame. And I think 3 months is a good testing cycle, because you can always review your numbers. And it's really not a case of leaping out and making wholesale changes. It's about making small changes over a period of time so that you don't go and blow up your lifestyle. You don't go and prevent yourself eating out and doing things, because, again, that's a bit like saying, I'm going to drink lemon water for 3 months, and 5 days in you want to throw a glass through the window. You know what I mean? You need something that's sustainable. So you need to take little steps. You need to reward yourself. Set a goal. If you hit it, okay, then reward you, your partner, the kids, everybody, whatever it may be. I think you need that positivity and that engagement and that success, because I think people are driven forwards by positive outcomes over the fear of failure at a greater rate.
I noticed you mentioned in the last segment that you're advocating for automation, use automation and apps, so you don't have to think too much about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, for older people, they don't really understand that.
No, but I think, look, everybody's probably got a son or a daughter or a grandson or somebody that they volunteer with, or someone that could show them how to get something done. And, that's why I use things like Vanguard or BetaShares. They've created retail platforms that are literally click, 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 finished. They are that easy to use. You can literally open an account, pick an investment, link a bank account, pick an amount to go in every month. You're finished.
That's it.
So it's not. Don't be frightened by the unknown, thinking it will be difficult, because these types of products from various providers have been created for exactly this market, and they have made it almost click-proof.
Okay.
So don't be frightened by it. The micro-investing apps, they all a bit like your super fund. People go, I don't know how to do that. If you can download an app They have 6 or 7 pre-made options. You can pick one that you feel is right for you. You link a bank account, you pick the amount that goes in, and you pick the day it goes in. Done.
Okay.
And you don't have to look at it again.
I think the point you also make is if you're not sure of what you're doing, not necessarily with the apps, but with everything else, get help.
Yeah, and that's it. I think it's the cost of not finding out could be far more expensive than the opportunity that you undertake. And it's not that you need to come and see somebody like me all the time. You might just want to come and spend an hour and go, hey, explain that. Show me how to do that. Tell me what's right for me. Work out what I can tolerate in relation to the risk. Pick something that works, and then I'll go away and set it up. Beautiful. That way, at least you've got the resources that you need to be able to get the outcome that you're after. You've aligned your interest with your risk profile. You've then aligned your objective with your cash flow. And then it's just a case of simply manipulating the number, whether you save this much a month, that much a week, that much a quarter, however you do it. Set something up and let it cook, and just forget it's there. And that's the nice thing about picking some diversified ETFs or a growth option in an investment portfolio like this. Think about it exactly the same as most people do with their super. They end up in an industry fund with the default balanced option. They don't know what's in there. They don't really care, and they know they might understand what the underlying investments are, but they probably don't.
Yes, well, the only difference there, unless you're a certain age, you can't access a superannuation fund unless you're a certain age, of course.
Correct. But something like this in your own name, you can withdraw and get out of at any time.
Because that's what leads me on to say the main thing here, I would imagine, is to don't bite off more than you could chew with your savings, so that
100%.
You go okay for a month or two. Yep. Oh God, I'm broke. I can't afford the electricity bill. I can't afford this, that, and the other.
And that's exactly why I say start with something small and build up to it over a period of time, where it might take you 3 months to get to a point where, okay, I can live the way we live and do what we do, and we're actively saving over here into something. Another big thing that I would say to people as well is, if a market falls or it comes off in value, don't stop. This one, people get caught with this all the time. Oh, well, I stopped saving into that because the value of it went down. Great. That's when you want to be saving into it, because you're getting more of that investment at a lower price. And if you took the methodology of, oh, well, bananas are normally this much a bunch and now they're half price, people go, well, give me 2 of those because it's good value. Think about that with your investments. Set it up, automate it. Don't look at it. And if somebody says something silly in the world and something happens, great. Keep saving, or use that as an opportunity to increase what you're doing, because you have an unlimited amount of time depending on how old you are. And if you have access to the money, you can always then bring it down and pull it out and use it for something that you may have been saving towards. It might be school fees, might be a boat, who knows what it is. But when you get there, you want to have access to it.
Okay, with just a minute left to go, just a quick review of the last 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, so I think just accept that you might need to change your behaviour. And a change of behaviour is not a bad thing. Because what are we talking about doing? We're talking about saving for later so that you can have capital to do things at a time when hopefully you have greater resources and more flexibility. So it's just about starting something small. You don't have to have $10,000 to kick this off. You can open an account with $200 at Vanguard. You can open a micro investing app, whoever it may be, with probably $100.
Okay, just in recapping where people can get more information, which you do so well, very well.
Office number 62604749. The girls will be back in the office on the 12th of January. Envisionfinancial.com.au on the internet. We've got the podcast, The Strategy Stacker, Luke Talks Money on iTunes and Spotify. We've got Envision Financial Canberra on YouTube, where we've got a back catalogue of all of our shows. And we've got all of these dollar cost averaging strategies in Smart Money Strategy, your ultimate guide to financial planning, available in all good bookstores and online.
Fantastic. Okay, I look forward to seeing you next Friday afternoon at 3:30.
Mate.
I won't be 4:30. 4:30. You want to make it 5:30? You can make it any half hour you like.
I'll just be excited if you're here.
Well, if I'm not, you can start without me, for goodness sake.
All right, will do, buddy.
Okay, thanks, Luke.
See you, mate.
Luke Smith from Envision Financial, back at 4:30 next Friday afternoon. Oh, you wreck me every time, Luke.